Welcome back, guys. I'm Coach Technique, and today on React and Review, we are looking at Kerala Blasters versus Bangalore FC. And if you really want your team to get into the top 4 and you're new to this channel, don't forget to like, subscribe. Kerala Blasters playing a 4-2-2 formation. 4-3-3 is a good formation, but you must make sure that your front three can run. Bangalore to kick off, deciding to keep the ball instead of kicking it up pitch. Nice little ball behind Blasters. Sahal to take the corner. Nice little header back inside. Good little layer for Costa. Unfortunately, Costa wasn't able to do anything there. Tried to get it on his left foot. The keeper was closing it down very well. Bangalore trying to passing out the back. We see here Blasters players closing down the Bangalore defenders, which is something that I said that they didn't do early in the season, which they're obviously working on now. If you see here, closing down from the striker made the defender panic. Point here is if he didn't get closed down, he would have had more time and he would made a better decision. I think a good decision would be to pass to number 2. In this situation, I would say that even though there's a player defender number 3 here, midfielder number 3, the player that received the ball should have touched it into this space here. 2 things would have happened. 1, he would have been in space and he would have still had the ball. The other option is to pass to the right back, and the right back touch it into this space here and run with the ball. A pass from the defender should have been met with the midfielder angling his body, touching the ball into this area here where they would have retained the ball. Not very good. I really like the closing down here. It's something that with this formation they're able to do very well, and the front two causing all kinds of problems. I think he should have done better there. On target is the best option if he can, but he tried to go for glory. You see, a quick look into the situation here. Sahal winning the ball. Excellent closing down yet again by the Blasters. I'm pretty surprised that this guy had 5 dashes. Sahal had 23 dashes. More than 4 times the amount of dashes he had to get to the ball, and yet he still won the ball. I understand the ball was probably rolling a little bit, but this is obviously from the pressure of Blasters closing them down. You see, football is not only like a tactical game, it's also a mental game. If you put pressure on people, even in situations that in the future they're gonna be playing expecting that pressure. So when you put a lot of pressure on players, they sometimes play worse because they expecting you to put that pressure on. So every pass will be a nervous pass and stuff like this. So this situation, previous situations, forced a situation like this where you wouldn't think with 1, 2, 3 players of Bangalore being open, with a player at the bottom here being open, you wouldn't think that he would lose the ball. If anything, he's got to fly into that ball to make sure he doesn't lose it. I would say as well that player A needs to recognize the situation. Another press, Kerala Blasters from Sahal. Oh my days, what has he done? He's taken too long. He's kind of invited the defender to then close him down very well. There was Murray and Hooper in the middle. From here, I would like to see Sahal do a darting run across the player, and instead of slowing up the ball, if you see Sahal, instead of darting across, he kind of slows up his run. See right here, Sahal was so far in front of this player right here that when he touches the ball should be in and around this area to attack the space. There's nothing wrong with the close control either, but you have to put a lot of pressure on these defenders. If you touch the ball in and around here and try to get there as quick as you can, you have the defender that has to then make a big decision whether to come for you or to try to mark one of the 2 strikers. And if you kind of take your time, it allows these players coming up here to then, put pressure on the strikers, and your decision when you do get in that box eventually. So here I would like him to take the ball in and around here, which he can then shoot. He can then attract one of the defenders really quickly to pass. Sometimes people always think that the close control dribble is the way forward. But actually in this occasion, I think running with the ball is a little bit better. Tapping that ball into this area. Have an opportunity to shoot or pass. In a high level football, players do run back, and if you do take your time, you'll see in the next shot the Bangalore defense race back, and in an instant most of the options are cut off, and then it becomes all about quality. As you can see here, Sahal takes that step away from that defender, which is fine. I would just like to see it done in a way that attacks the space in behind the defender, just be a bit more quicker basically. In ISL, they really like their long throw-ins, and it's very potent. Man at the back post all alone. Great finish, by the way. Absolutely amazing finish. I don't know about the flip. This is like under 15's mistake. Leaving a guy at the back post when the ball is basically moving across the goal at the slowest you've ever seen a ball move across the goal. Great finish though. Great finish. If you have someone on him, he can't be able to do that. Well, he shouldn't be able to do that. Nice little through ball. It's been all Bangalore at the moment. Bangalore players should have done a lot better. There were so many players to pick out. Blasters defense kind of did well by closing most of the options and defending with... Okay, I would like to say here that I think that this situation is where the top 1% of professional players really stand out. See, he's already in front of all the 3 Kerala Blasters players, but he doesn't take advantage. What he does is, it's a difficult ball to trap, right? I say that he done really well in trapping the ball, but once he traps the ball, he kind of like allows these 3 players to like get there. So the other thing what he should have done is, if he's a left footer, he should have tried to control the ball in one motion if he could, to like one touch in that space, cutting across Costa and creating a shooting opportunity or a chance for him to get tackled inside the penalty box. But problem with that as well is that there are 2 defenders here, so the other one is to try to control it in front of you. If you don't do that correctly, it goes straight to the goalkeeper. So the other option here would be to control it into this area, and if he's a right footer to then have a shot. So the key point of all this is trapping it here is not the best situation if you're not going to then lay it off to somebody else, because once you trap it here, you're kind of stuck in the mud and everybody else can flow forward, come back. The other thing is, if you do have the skill, you can then retain it if you do trap it. But you really want to try to get a shot off here. The hardest thing would be to volley. I'm not going to tell you to do that, because that takes crazy amount of skill and or luck. But trying to trap the ball and at least in a second touch get it in here is the best option, instead of trapping it, ball being under your foot, and then trying to shoot when 3 defenders are raining down on you. So yeah, I mean, I'm being very picky here, but you know, that is the biggest difference between, you know, your average pro and, you know, a Jamie Vardy or something like that. See, it is a great touch. It's just that I prefer a great touch into an area in front of him where he can run onto it and shoot. His great touch allowed the defender to come and block his shot. Nice little cross in by Blasters. Goalkeepers on it. Good defending by Bangalore there. You see the 2 defenders on Murray and Hooper. You tell me if Chetri can score these free kicks. Good save. Could have been easily 2. Bangalore not really clearing it. That's the problem. Oh dear. Good shot. I see the keeper on the floor. I mean, you have to play to the whistle. I'm not sure if the Bangalore players had an excuse about whether or not they should continue, because if I was the manager of Kerala Blasters, I would literally be screaming for my players to continue playing there. I mean, it's a bit mean in a way, but you know, it is professional football and it's about the referee to blow it, unless you can see that the guys, it's not like it knocked him out, it's more, you can see clearly that hit his chest. I saw that from here. So I mean, there's a moral aspect. It's him in the head and then he gets knocked out, but I think the goal's legitimate, the goal stands. And this is the kind of focus you need and the kind of ruthless streak you need if you want to try to do well in any kind of league, really. So Bangalore passing. Good pass. Oh, what? He should have finished that. He should have finished that. What is he doing? That is like the easiest of all angles to like score from. Look at this pass. Costa should do better here. Should try to close him down. Look, I have to say one thing. Now, I know the end result of this. What I'm thinking here is, it's understandable that you trying to win a game, but you shouldn't. I think it's a mistake what Bangalore did here. 1.5 minutes to go. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 8 people forward to try to get a goal in the final minute. Now, I get it. And when it does come off, that's excellent. But you've worked so hard to get to this point of the game where you're getting points. Maybe you can argue that they should have finished a lot of chances off, but they didn't. You don't want here to give opportunity for the other team, right now is the Blasters, to come back in this game. And right now, having 8 players up, like forward, and majority of them in the box, means that you only have 2 people to defend an oncoming onslaught of players if they do win the ball and counterattack, you know? So I wouldn't put these many players up front. I reckon you could have easily put 2 banks of 3s up there and then have 4 back. It's very important that you don't let Blasters in this game. That's a mistake. That's a coaching mistake. Because you can still lose even if you're very careful from a counterattack. I'm not saying that you can't, but you make sure that you make it very hard for the other team. You can still score, put in 3 players up front with another 3 players behind there on the line. It's a pretty good opportunity to have all these people in the box and try to shoot. But, you know, that counter-attack and the chance of you losing and not being able to come back when there's no minutes left. Look at that. Look at that. Look at this. This is what I'm trying to tell you. Look at that. What a goal. That's a good goal. That's individual skill. Good dribbling. I think it's the defender. I mean, 1-on-1, it's not always going to be easy. Let's look at this situation a little bit deeply. KP Raul's in the goal. It is, like I said, it's not easy to defend 1-on-1. What I would say to the player is that if you know KP Raul is a right footer, then you try to put him on left foot. You have other players coming back here that I think is significant in the argument for you to do that. I mean, and you look at where the goalkeeper is. So by showing him on the outside, it becomes very dangerous. Because if he's a right footer, like that's his strongest, best chance of him scoring. And if he's not able to do that, he's also got another Blasters player running in here. Very well done in the 93rd minute, breaking your lungs to try to get in the box. I would question why the goalkeeper is. You can even see the gap. There's even a gap between him and the post, which I'm not sure is something that most goalkeeping coaches, I'm not one, but you know, in general, I would say that he should be in this section. But if you're a goalkeeper coach, let me know if I'm wrong. Maybe he's very good at left foot and they tried to. Maybe the goalkeeper thought, if I'm going to have an argument with the goalkeeper, maybe the goalkeeper thought that Raul might cut in and then shoot with his left. Maybe that was on his mind, but you have to go with what's in the situation, I think, and that's too big of a gap. See, now it is a good time to put everyone forward when you're losing. This is the time to put everyone forward losing, and there's no minutes left, and it ends 2-1. So a couple of things we learned in the match: don't commit all your team forward when there's no need to, and you need to be able to finish your chances. You need to keep cool under pressure, and 4-4-2 is the best for Kerala Blasters. My name is Coach Technique, and thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Subscribe, like, and share. I make videos every day.